Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me. I'm now going to be reading chapter 24 from the Goosebumps book, The Headless Ghost. Unlike a lot of the stories I read, which are short standalone tales, this is one complete book, so I really do recommend that you listen to the chapters in order. Each chapter is uploaded as a separate video, and I always make sure that I include the chapter number in the title of the video. Panic time. My breaths came short and fast. My heart clattered louder than the skeleton bones. My whole body began to shake. "Stephanie? Steph, where are you?" I choked out weakly. Then I saw the two yellow eyes moving towards me. Two glowing eyes, floating silently, gleaming with evil, coming nearer, nearer. I froze. I couldn't move. I couldn't see anything but those two gleaming yellow eyes. "Oh!" I uttered a moan as they floated closer, and I could see them more clearly, see that they were candle flames. Two candle flames moving side by side. In the soft yellow light I saw Seth's face and Stephanie's. They each carried a lighted candle in front of them. "Stephanie, where were you?" I cried in a choked whisper. I thought... "I went with Seth," she replied calmly. The orange glow from her candle washed over me. I guess Stephanie could see how panicked I was. "I'm sorry, Dwayne," she said softly. "I said I was going with Seth. I thought you'd heard me." Something is rattling," I stammered. "Bones, I think. I keep feeling a cold wind and I keep hearing..." Seth handed me a candle. "Light it," he instructed. "We'll look around, see what's rattling." I took the candle and raised it to his, but my hand was shaking so badly it took me 5 tries to light the wick. Finally, the candle flamed to life. I gazed around in the flickering orange light. "Hey, we're in the kitchen," Stephanie whispered. A gust of cold wind blew past me. "Did you feel that?" I cried. Seth pointed his candle flame towards the kitchen window. "Look, Dwayne, that window pane. It's missing. The cold air is blowing in through the hole." "Oh. Right." Another blast of air, and then the rattling. "Did you hear it?" I demanded. Stephanie giggled. She pointed to the kitchen wall. In the dim light, I saw big pots and pans hanging on the wall. "The wind is making them rattle," Stephanie explained. "Ha ha." I uttered a feeble laugh. "I knew that. I was just trying to scare you," I lied. "You know, give you a thrill." I felt like a total idiot. But why should I admit that a load of pots on the wall nearly had me scared out of my skin? "Okay, no more jokes," Stephanie insisted, turning to Seth. "We want to see a real ghost." "Follow me. I'll show you something that Otto told me about," Seth whispered. Holding his candle in front of him, he led the way across the kitchen to the wall beside the stove. He lowered his candle in front of a cabinet door. Then he pulled open the cabinet door and moved the candle closer so that we could see inside. "Why are you showing us a kitchen cabinet?" I demanded. "What's scary about that?" "It's not a cabinet," Seth replied. "It's a dumb waiter. Watch." He reached inside and pulled a rope beside the cabinet shelf. The shelf began to slide up. He raised the shelf, then lowered it. "See? This dumb waiter is like a tiny lift. It was used to send food from the kitchen to the master bedroom upstairs." "You mean for midnight snacks?" I joked. Seth nodded. The cook would put the food on the shelf, then he would pull the rope and the shelf would carry it upstairs. "Thrills and chills," I said sarcastically. "Yeah, why are you showing it to us?" Stephanie demanded. Seth brought the candle up close to his face. "Otto told me that this dumb waiter is haunted. 120 years ago, things suddenly started to go wrong with it. Stephanie and I moved closer. I lowered my candle and examined the dumbwaiter cabinet. "What went wrong?" I asked. "Well," Seth began softly, "the cook would put food on the shelf and send it upstairs. But when the shelf reached the bedroom up there, the food was gone." Stephanie narrowed her eyes at Seth. "It disappeared between the ground and first floor." Seth nodded solemnly. His grey eyes glowed in the soft candlelight. "This happened several times. When the shelf reached the first floor, it was empty. The food had vanished." "Wow," I murmured. "The cook became very frightened," Seth continued. "He was afraid that the dumbwaiter had become haunted. He decided to stop using it, and he ordered everyone on his staff never to use the dumbwaiter again." "And that's the end of the story?" I asked. Seth shook his head. "And then something horrible happened." Stephanie's mouth dropped open. "What? What happened?" "Some kids were visiting the house. One of them was a boy named Jeremy. Jeremy was a real show-off, very athletic. When he saw the dumbwaiter, he decided it would be fun to ride it to the first floor." "Oh, wow," Stephanie murmured. I felt a chill. I thought I could guess what was coming. "So Jeremy squeezed onto the shelf, and one of the other kids pulled the rope. Suddenly the rope caught. The kid couldn't get it to move up or down. Jeremy was stuck somewhere between the floors. The other kids called up to him, 'Are you okay?' But Jeremy didn't reply. They started to get very worried. They tugged and tugged, but they couldn't move the rope. Then suddenly the shelf came crashing back down." "And was Jeremy on it?" I asked eagerly. Seth shook his head. "There were 3 covered bowls on the shelf. The kids lifted the lid off the first bowl. Inside was Jeremy's heart, still beating. They opened the second bowl. Inside there were Jeremy's eyes, still staring in horror. And they opened the third bowl and saw Jeremy's teeth, still chattering." The 3 of us stood silent in the orange glow of candlelight. We stared at the dumbwaiter shelf. I shivered. The pots rattled against the wall, but I was no longer frightened of them. I raised my eyes to Seth. "Do you think that story is true?" Stephanie laughed, nervous laughter. "It can't be true," she said. Seth's face remained solemn. "Do you believe any of Otto's stories?" he asked me quietly. "Well, yes. No. Some." I couldn't decide. "Otto swears the story is true," Seth insisted. "But of course, he may just be doing his job. His job is to make this house as scary as possible." "Otto is a great storyteller," Stephanie murmured. "But enough stories. I want to see a real ghost." "Follow me," Seth replied. His candle flame dipped low as he spun around. He led us back through the kitchen into a long, narrow room at the back. "This is the old butler's pantry," he announced. "All of the food for the house was stored in here." Stephanie and I stepped past him, raising our candles to see the room better. When I turned around, Seth was closing the pantry door behind us. Then I saw him turn the lock. "Hey, what are you doing?" I cried. "Why are you locking us in here?" Stephanie demanded. And that is the end of chapter 24. I hope you're enjoying it. I'm going to be back soon to read chapter 25. If in the meantime you'd like to listen to any other stories, including some from the Goosebumps series, then please do have a look at the channel, and I hope there will be something there that you like. Thank you for spending your time with me today, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!